I think so many of us as women, especially, in our, late 30s and 40s and just beyond period, have thought and felt that way about ourselves, or maybe walked past a mirror and thought, ooh, I do not look how I used to be, or wow, my body has changed. And, it's really taking that moment of that self-acceptance and saying, I love myself enough to want to be the healthiest and happiest version of me.
You're listening to the Redefining Wealth podcast with Patrice Washington. This is a space that you come to each and every week to learn more about what it means to chase purpose, not money. And I'm so excited to welcome you back to another episode in this season in particular, because we're talking about redefining love of self, for others, and also of God. And I just know that today's conversation is going to be so dynamic with my girl, Lacee Green. We are talking about the fit pillar in this particular episode, but I know it's going to go so far beyond that. But here's the thing. If you're brand new here, you might be saying, why is a personal finance expert talking about anything related to fitness? You ask such great questions. This is because this is a community that understands that wealth is so much more than just money and material possessions. We understand around here that wealth was really in the 12th century defined as the condition of well-being. And so we need to be well in all parts of our lives as we seek to build wealth and build financial freedom and build all this money and career stuff we say we want. And so this conversation is really going to help you strengthen your fit pillar. My girl Lacee is dynamic, but before we get into that, I want to do the affirmation of the week.
You got to speak positivity into your life, into your day. You got to affirm positivity. You gotta affirm abundance. You gotta affirm yourself to wealth.
This week's affirmation is, I am grateful for my one and only body. I understand that loving and respecting my body is the only way I will fully accomplish my purpose. My body can only become strong, capable, and full of energy when I nurture it and listen to it. Because I desire to feel good in my body at all times, I consciously make choices to engage in activities and practices that will heal and not hurt my body. I believe that my body is a sacred temple, and continuously learning how to power and protect it is an act of respect. And learning how to power it down when rest is needed in a culture that values dishonoring my body is an even greater act of respect and reverence. Declare with me today, I am grateful for my one and only body. Okay, so let's jump in. Lacee Green is an entrepreneur. She's a National Academy Sports Medicine certified group fitness instructor and proud mom. She has broken multiple glass ceilings. Let me tell you about this girl. She is so committed to showing that fitness comes in every shape, size, and color, and that every single body on this earth is beautiful. You may recognize Lacee as the modifier from MBF or from her live classes on BeachBody's on-demand exercise program, BODi. That's with the I at the end, because they're fancy. But now she brings her contagious positivity to For Beginners Only, her program for anyone beginning their fitness journey. With more than a decade of experience helping people live their best lives, there's no doubt you'll leave Lacee's workouts feeling on top of the world. And I just have to say this as a personal friend, there's no way that you will leave her presence, period, like feeling better and on top of the world. So without further ado, here is my girl, Lacee Green.
Oh, good morning.
Woo! Listen, anyone who knows Lacee, and if you are watching on YouTube, you see the shirt in the background, the woot woot. You know Lacee is in the house or near when you hear Woo, woo.
It's the woo woo lifestyle. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Hey,
Oh, thank you so
friend.
much, Patrice. Hi, good morning and good afternoon where you are. Oh, you look so beautiful, and I love to always see your smile. And thank you so much for that amazing introduction and for having me today.
I'm so excited to have you. So there's so many reasons. First of all, I'm just so proud of you. Like this
Thank
whole
you.
BeachBody opportunity. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. It has been such a blessing. I mean, it is like an absolute dream come true. Really, it is. I mean, I'm just floating. I mean, it's just so incredible. I feel like I'm 1000% walking in my purpose, for sure.
And I love that. I love that.
Amen.
So
Yes.
Lacee has been on Instagram forever as the Curvy Girl Trainer.
I guess.
So shout out to all the curvy girls because for me, like I've been redefining wealth, but you've been redefining what fit means,
Mhm.
what it looks like, and how we can embrace our bodies just at every size. How did you become the curvy girl trainer?
Absolutely, absolutely. And I love what you do in redefining wealth. And we've been friends for years, and I'm just so grateful. This whole energy from the moment we started the call has been just a beautiful energy always. And so, it's been such a blessing to be the curvy girl trainer, but with this new opportunity with BeachBody that's now, Body BeachBody on Demand Interactive. And I have always been an athlete my whole life, always very, into sports. And I love that. And as I started to get more into my fitness career and I went to Florida State and I started to look around and realize that there were not a lot of people, especially outside of sports that looked like me in this space. And that didn't sit well with me. And one of my favorite quotes ever is be the change. And so, you know what? And it's always been my main objective to help people just feel better about themselves right where they are in their lives. And so, I decided that, we needed to have something and someone to show fitness in every age, race, body type, ability, and that we all deserve to be happy and healthy. And so, I'm here right now at my all women's gym in Ventura, California, and in my office here. And this is where for over 10 years I've been leading classes here, and we have everybody and everybody. Like I like to say, I got to put my hands up when I say that. But just truly having people find a love for fitness and moving their bodies, because that's what we were made to do. And I know, Patrice, and we've talked about this, is that so many times in our lives, we're both moms, right? I mean, like, and our bodies change. And I'll be 40 years old in October, and it gets really challenging as women, especially when we start to compare ourselves, not only to others, but how we used to look, right? Or how we used to, right? Or looking back at that old picture and say, I used to be this and I used to, yeah, but you also didn't used to know all the lessons that you know now and have all this new wisdom and all this new energy. And so, that's not a space that we can ever go back to. So I always say, let's make the rest of our life the best of our life. And that looks different on all of us. And so, it's been just a true honor.
Okay. So, I love this because the reason that I invited you to this season in particular was, yes, to celebrate your new position with BeachBody, which is phenomenal as a woman of color and as a curvy woman to be able to do what you're doing. I'm so proud of you. I also realized for myself, since I turned 40 in 2021,
Yeah,
and I'm and I'm now 42 is inching its way here any day now. I had to accept that what I look like at 30, I may never see that again, right? One of the things that I said on my 40th birthday episode was that I wanted to come into my 40s detached from numbers that just didn't have the significance that, maybe I was forcing them to have. And for me, one of those was the number on the scale, because, like the last part of my 30s, I put on about 35 pounds. And I'm like, who is she? And where did this come from? And how? And where did I get these breasts from? And like, what is this butt doing? Like all these things that I never had. And so that meant that not just the number on the scale, Lacee, but then also the number in the clothing tags. And this is why, I say at Redefining Wealth, when we talk about the fit pillar, it's not about a number on the scale, but how do I feel? Am I taking care of myself? Am I conscious about listening to my body? Am I conscious of what I'm putting inside of my body? Not just what I'm eating, but just also what I'm listening to and what I'm reading and what I'm responding to. All of those things really do matter and they have impact. And so I know that you like to say fitness is a feeling. Yes. And I've really had to learn over these last couple of years that I have to focus on how I feel, how I feel in my clothes, how I feel in my body, how I feel energetically, because if it's just about the number on the scale, baby, I would be in a never ending battle with myself.
Oh, Patrice, that is so funny. First of all, when is your birthday? When
March
is it
15th.
Oh my gosh, we're so close. That's so exciting. Well, happy early birthday. And you know what? All of those thoughts and everything that you just said, I think so many of us as women, especially, in our late 30s and 40s and just beyond period, have thought and felt that way about ourselves, or maybe walked past a mirror and thought, ooh, I do not look how I used to be, or wow, my body has changed. And, it's really taking that moment of that self-acceptance and saying, I love myself enough to want to be the healthiest and happiest version of me. And when you really think about it, Patrice, what does that do when we stand in the mirror and we pick ourselves apart, right? Or when we start to focus on the number on the scale, or, or on the pant size, or that this has changed about my life, or my boobs don't sit the same way they used to, or this looks a little different, or that it really does nothing for us except for tear us apart and make us feel bad on the inside. And then it starts to cross over into other areas of our lives. And so, I love that you said that, because we have to really focus on our health, and our health is our greatest wealth, right? And you say, redefining wealth. And I'm trying to redefine health for us, and especially as Black women, in this space, and to show that loving our bodies and accepting who we are, and that we can work out and exercise just because it makes us feel good. And it doesn't have to be just because we're trying to beat ourselves up or lose these couple pounds, or, go back to whatever dress size or what someone told us we're supposed to look like or how we're supposed to be. It is all about how you feel and making your health a priority. And the way that I like to approach it with everything in mindset is that I love myself enough to want to make healthy choices for myself. And I love myself enough that I want to move my body. And, and I really always talk about thinking about the person that you want to become, right? Not who you were used to be, or when we used to be, of whatever size, of wearing the little booty shorts, which I got my booty shorts. But
I mean, I have a pair too. I'm not going to lie.
Absolutely. But, and about you feeling good in your body, right? And that's what it's all about. This body, this day, right where you are. You only get this one life and this one body. So you better make it healthy and you better make it happy. And that all starts with our mindset, 1000%.
Yeah. Well, one of the things I've been saying here for years is that if we say we have a vision for our lives, and like you talked about who we are becoming, like where you want to go in your life, I do firmly believe that we have a duty and a responsibility to protect the only vessel we're going to get. And so this is why, for me, moving my body every day is more a matter of purpose. It's like, it's for me, and I want to feel good and I want to look good and all those things. But like you said, when you stand in the mirror, you keep critiquing and you keep picking things apart, and you keep wishing that it was 1989, 1999, 2009, and you just keep trying to go back to some time in the past. It is really preventing you from focusing on the future. It's preventing you from being present, but also from the future. And I feel personally like there's such great purpose on my life. I have to protect the vessel, because the way I desire to show up for the people that I'm called to serve requires me to be my best self. It requires me to move my body, right? And make sure that I'm strong and I'm physically fit, because when I'm on the road, right, I love to be the person at the back of the room who stands there and takes all the pictures and
Yes.
hugs all the people. I'm always the
Yeah.
last speaker there. Like it
Mhm.
doesn't matter if my line has 10 people or 100 people, I'm going to stand there in my heels and I'm going to greet every person. And that is because I do squats and I do leg day. And I do all of these
Absolutely.
things to make
Absolutely.
sure that I have the stamina and the endurance to show up how I want to show up for the people that I serve. So it's like for me, but I also feel like it's for us, like as a community. I
Absolutely.
take care of me for the benefit of my community. And then also for having an active kid that
Oh,
is, I have to climb up a lot of stadium stairs and all this stuff, fooling with Reagan Washington. She always is in something, doing something. I got to carry coolers and a little chair on my back and all these things to go to her games. Like, also, it requires me to be, in better physical shape so I can also show up as the mother that I would like to be.
oh,
It's not the dress
absolutely.
size. Like I've had to release that, baby.
Yes.
Baby. I've had to
Listen.
release that.
All the way, all the way. I always say you cannot, and I love Reagan. Oh my gosh,
She loves you too,
I
you
love
know that.
I love her personality and just everything about her. And yes, my son Kayan, who is 15, I mean, same, very into sports, climbing through the stadiums, all this stuff, and being a boy mom and him and all his friends. I'm like, the things that they talk about, I'm like, I need the energy just to sprint away from this conversation right now. But 1000%. And I think when we talk about that and not living or dying by the scale, that we are so much more than just a number on a scale or a pant size. And one thing in this new program and just in my life that I try to live by and try to help other women understand is to find the joy and drop the judgment. Find the joy and listen, find the joy and drop the judgment. And that's in everything that we do. I mean, in my workouts, and I was laughing because I was reading something, that you wrote, that you can only work out to like R&B and gospel music or something. Is that what you said? Absolutely.
90s R&B, baby, early 2000s. Yeah.
So I love 90s R&B and I love gospel. If I worked out the gospel though, I might be like raising up my hands doing like a Holy Spirit activate, or something like that in the middle of a workout. So, I love my like dirty South, like trap music and all that stuff too that I like to work. But I do love 90s R&B for sure. But in saying that, finding the joy, right? Putting on some good music and just moving your body and redefining, what fitness is. And, that's why I feel so blessed to be in this space and all the things that you talked about, is, some of us have felt so intimidated by fitness or moving our bodies, or maybe feel like we're so far gone, right? We're looking at this number on the scale and how did I let myself get here? Or, oh my gosh, this is, and it can be tough. It can be really, really tough to have that conversation. And we can be, so very hard on ourselves. And when you start to redefine and look at what fitness is and really making your health a priority, just so you feel good in your body, period, forgetting a number on the scale or a pant size, that fitness is so much more than just dumbbells and sweat and thinking that you need to go to a gym for 2 hours, or, someone told you to come to a workout class and they're doing like burpees and backflips. And you're like, yo, this is not
simmer down.
Like,
simmer down. Yeah.
But then just putting on some good music and moving your body for 10 minutes and starting, with these small changes so that you feel better in your life. And I even have a special certification and exercises anxiety intervention, right? And then when we start to talk about what our health does for our mental health, and that just moving your body for 10 minutes is going to make a bigger difference than just about anything else that you do. And there's research and science to back that, and so, it's so much more than that. And then especially for Black women, being able to show our bodies, right, and a body type that looks like mine, and to see me on stage, not just in the workout or background, right, but actually leading the workout and having a program. I mean, that's powerful. It's powerful.
So powerful.
Mm-hmm.
We know that representation matters.
Absolutely.
I want to know for you, how was it though when you were really starting to build this brand around being like a curvy girl trainer? Because you weren't always this curvy. Like
Right.
there were
Right.
seasons in your life where you were much thinner, right?
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
what happened for you? And also, how did people receive you? Was there a struggle for you to accept yourself and then teach others how to accept themselves?
Absolutely. And it was. And I think, you and I having this conversation and everything that you talk about, when we really get transparent about it and talk about, yeah, it was absolutely tough. I mean, my hormones changed and birth control, I had a baby, so just life happens. And then just, the science behind it is, as we get older as women and our bodies change, we start to lose muscle mass. And these are just things that just happen as we get older. There's menopause and muscle loss and all these things, and hormone changes. And I thought, it was absolutely challenging. And I thought, there were some pivotal moments where I thought, especially being a mom, and that always powered me through, 1000%. And you have a daughter, and so sometimes I feel like that's even more, we want to, be that example, because it's so hard, and especially on young Black women, for, how they see themselves and what, and for them to have the opportunities to become who they want to become, in this world. And, and so, having my all women's gym and watching my body change, there were some pivotal moments where I just thought, this is getting so tough and so challenging, trying to continue to chase this old body and the way that I used to be. And when you talk about fitness and lifestyle, that's what it is. It's a lifestyle, right? So you're developing habits that I'm going to be able to do every day. And when I'm eating, maybe trying to do a cleanse or a low caloric diet or whatever it is that's not serving me, I thought, man, this is enough of this. Enough of this. I'm going to embrace who I am, and I love me enough. I am the one that's living this life and doing this every day. And I love me enough to stand in this and love my body. I'm confident, I am strong, and I know that I am not the only one that feels this way. And so that's really what it was. And the more that I shared that story, the more that I had women all over the world, especially, say, we are there too. We feel the same way. We want to live better and feel better, and stop having people tell us, how we're supposed to feel and look and do fitness and, whatever it is. And so, in those changes, whenever I would go to the big, fitness conventions and the idea fitness conventions, that's one of the biggest ones in the world. And I was, one of the first things we do is look, as a Black woman, is look for who else here it looks like me that's teaching, or who else here is this. And, you start to look around, there's very, very few, as far as my, Black women mentors in the space, but just minorities in the space, period. And so, I really dove into making that my purpose. And I think when you get focused on it, and there's actually a quote that I don't even know if you know this, but there is a quote that you have that says, "Don't ever let anyone weaponize your story against you." Mm-hmm. And that is so, so very true. And so, your story and your journey and in your health and fitness and wherever you are in your life, that is your story, and that's empowering. So starting to share this journey about how my body changed, and it didn't, I'm still strong, I'm still confident, I'm still doing this thing, and I feel proud of who I am, and so that's really what it was all about for me. But there were many times where I would go to an audition, or in fitness, or someone would look at me like, "Oh, you're the trainer," and I'm like, "Yeah, watch me lift this, watch me throw this 50-pound dumbbell around real quick, or watch me, And so it's all about how we start to see ourselves and how we speak to ourselves, and that was really it for me.
How we see ourselves. Now, I know you are loving the Redefining Wealth podcast, but do you know what would take it up a notch? It's if you invested in a copy of my brand new book, Redefine Wealth for Yourself: How to Stop Chasing Money and Finally Live Your Life's Purpose. Now, on the podcast, you hear me talk about the 6 pillars of wealth every single week. That's fit, people, space, faith, work, and money. And I want you to incorporate this into your life. But let's be honest, the podcast isn't enough. I poured 114 lessons from my own life, the rituals, the mindsets, the behaviors, the attitudes that I had to shift in order to redefine wealth for myself in each one of these pillars. And now I've made it available to you. So you can make sure to pick up your copy in paperback, hardcover, or even listen on Audible. Whatever you do, make this a part of your library today. Lacee's my friend in real life. So before we started recording, I said something to her, and I said, I desire companionship, but not at the expense of my peace. I was talking about a suitor who is probably not going to make it, you guys, probably not going to make it. And so, but I was talking about that, and I said it because I was just sharing, like, I feel so good about me in this season. My confidence is like on a 10, and I'm so unapologetic about it. It may be on an 8, it might be on 18. I don't know. I'm so unapologetic about it. And I realized that when I create the space to go take care of myself, like, that is such an act of self-love. It is so nurturing. It's like me nurturing me. It's me saying, Patrice, you are worthy of this time. You are worthy of this investment. Doesn't matter who's doing what, where. These are 30 minutes or 45 minutes. Or if you feeling froggy and you want to stay an hour and a half because you just in it and you just want to do a little extra cardio, not to burn something, but because you feel good and you just want to keep walking on the treadmill, right? Whatever that is, I feel that over these last several years in particular, I have invested so much time and effort and energy and resources into me that I'm not willing to let anyone come in and dismantle that, diminish it, dismiss it, redirect it.
Listen, absolutely. And I am so proud of you. When you even came out, I'm like, you are glowing.
Yeah. I said, that's the, you have to release a ninja glow. That's the, yeah. But you know,
look,
I mean that though, like, it's not a arrogance. It's a confidence that I believe has really been built from the amount of time that I spend on my mental and physical well-being.
1000%.
That is not who I was, you know, I've been this way less time than I've been anything else. So when you talk about, you know, women where our bodies are changing and we're in that beat up mode and we're trying to like, oh my gosh, well, I don't look the same. My body doesn't look the same. I put on more weight. I don't know what to do. I'm doing all the things I used to do. Because maybe all the stuff that worked in my 20s, child, goodbye. That's no.
Listen,
I used to be like, I need to lose weight to fit into this dress by Saturday. I could tell myself that in the mirror on Tuesday. And Friday night, it would just be gone.
Listen, one thing, like, you're out of here.
You're out of here, because I made up my mind. I haven't moved an extra muscle, nothing, but I made up my mind. And then in my 30s, you know, it was like, well, that's not good enough. So then I knew, well, what diet to switch to and like how to manipulate, you know, my calories and this and that to make sure. Like, but after a while, it just becomes exhausting.
Absolutely.
And then in my 40s, I'm like, girl, as long as you make the time to go move your body, as long as you know, continue to, I do like strength training. So like, continue to build muscle and, you know, you at least are mindful of what you're eating. You're drinking your water, you're taking care of yourself. Like, that's all I can ask of myself with a busy schedule and a busy mom and running a business and a team all over the world and all this stuff. That's the most I can ask for myself. And I am so proud of myself every time I take the time to go see about me, because I'm the only one that's going to see about me.
Come on, you better come through. Absolutely. I love that. And that makes me so proud to hear you say that. And that was work, right? That was work that you did. And that's energy. And I love that. And to me, everything in this life is energy. So when you talk about, you know, letting it go and hey, on to the next. And I said, hey, and I say, you know, that becomes, as you continue to protect your energy and build that energy and do that work with yourself. And that's the self-love. It becomes so much easier, right? And that's what I was saying. I was like, it becomes so much easier to recognize, like, oh no, that's not for me. Or, oh no, This is my routine. Nothing's getting in my time. This is my 30-minute workout time. This is what I'm doing for me because I know how this makes me feel. This is my self-care. This is my self-love. And in that, you are finding this new love for yourself, and then you grow. And then it's like a level up of that energy, right? And then it's a level up of that energy, and then you're on to the next. And so 100%, I am with you on that. And for sure, that energy makes such a difference. And how you speak to yourself. I mean, how you speak to yourself and the energy that you put behind that makes such a huge difference in the workouts. And so that's why I always where the whoop whoop come from, because I will be in here like, okay, Lacee, whoop whoop, let's go 1000%. But and you talked about also like the community that you've built and how amazing that is. And for me, that's so much of it too, trying to do this on your own. And it's so hard to try to do it on your own, and having a community of people that say, we understand, we are with you, we are here to love you and encourage you and to push you right when you need it, and allow you just to be yourself. That makes such a difference. And that's really so much too with this, not only my community here of my women at my gym, but the BODi community has done for me. And that's really why I really want to just bring everybody also into this fitness community, because that's what it's all about. And there was a really powerful moment, Patrice, so on the BODi classes, we, it's like a big Zoom screen, right? Like this. And there's people from all over the world working out together, and it's so much fun. And so it's like, I can correct their form. We could do like a little booty shake, whatever we want to do. Okay. It's right there. So it's like you have a trainer live, and
a booty shake is always nearby if Lacee's in the building.
You better come on.
It's coming. You can't get away from it.
You can't get away. That's right. But just recently, and this really just goes to show, where we are now at BODi, and what's really always been I'm in alignment with is your health esteem, and that's a term that's a new purpose and drive behind BODi and BeachBody, but just that carries over into every aspect of our life, is loving who you are as you work on the person you are becoming. And that's really what it's about. And so, the other day we were on BODi, and what this community is all about. So many of the people that we work out with live on these screens, I've never met before in my life, ever in my life. I mean, we got people in the UK, Canada, all over. And there are two women within our BODi community, which is, thousands, millions of subscribers, but, thousands of people and that have been recently diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. And the BODi community of these people that I have never met in my life and part of it, we all just wore pink and came together and did these workouts with them, and they showed up on the screen, and we just sent this energy out, to them, and sent out all the love and all these vibes, and we hope you receive it, amen, and hallelujah, wherever you are. But it's so much more than like I said, than just fitness and dumbbells, right? It's our health. And one way that I try to preserve my happiness and my well-being, all that, is really just trying to take it one day at a time. I mean, and if you thought about, if I knew that this was my very last day on this planet, if I really knew that, what would I be doing? What would I be thinking about? Right. I mean, and it's not, it is definitely not what size dress is in my closet or how much I weigh on a scale. It's, do I have enough health to be with the people that I love and do the things that I love, and I always say, we're not here for a long time. We're here for a great time. So absolutely. And that just applies in life, but really focusing on being present with yourself and taking it one day at a time and finding a fitness and health in a way that works for you. And that's really what it is.
Yeah, because it's an individual journey.
Absolutely.
We have to try different things to figure out what works for me and what doesn't.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I love how you described the community too, because that's so important. One of the things that I do really, I'm very proud of. I pride myself on the fact that I create really great communities. So in my programs, I attract like high energy, high vibrational, just loving, like-hearted people. And even though we all need to get something, or we're there to learn something, or we may feel like there's something missing that we need, there's still this common thread of just like good people, like supportive, genuinely encouraging, genuinely loving, like, and that's what I attract. And I can only imagine that the people who are attracted to you and who are continuing to come into this community for beginners only that is just growing and growing, that's just who you are. It is just a mirror. You're only going to attract those type of people. And I love that because I know how intimidating fitness can be for people. Like you said, right? You go into a place, you tried someplace one time and you got in there and they were flipping tires and doing backflips and doing burpees. And you're like, oh my gosh, not this again. Right.
Right.
And so even as someone who was an athlete, like growing up, and then I've been in and out of always like focusing on, something to do with the fitness pillar. There's some times where I go in the gym and I'm intimidated by a whole section of the gym. There's a part of the gym where I walk by those people every day. I'm like, look at them, God bless them. I don't go over there.
I know exactly where you're talking about, probably too. Yeah.
I'm like,
throwing the barbell and all kinds of craziness. And grunting.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm like, it can be intimidating. I stay over here by dumbbells where it's safe. I stay over here. I do the machines that I know, but I just love that your personality and what you exude. I know that it is like breaking down those walls of intimidation that a lot of people, women in particular, have when it comes to fitness. And I saw some of like your promo videos when you first made the announcement, and just that, like, come on, everybody, you can do it. Like, this is all you need. Like, here's the equipment you need: a chair, your body,
nailing
like
it. Yeah.
I love how accessible it felt.
Right. Absolutely. And thank you so much, Patrice. And it is. And that even the name, for beginners only, we wanted to make it a place where someone that has never worked out in their life that said, hey, I know I want to move better. I know I want to feel better. I know I need to do something. This is a place that's going to meet them right where they are, whether it's their very first workout or whether it's someone coming off, an injury, or someone that's even pregnant, or somebody that has had a baby, or somebody that, the term that people use a lot of time is that fell off, and that term, I like to take that and throw it in the trash because, our fitness journey is forever. Our fitness journey is forever. Right. Yeah. And there's going to be highs and lows, just like in life. And then it's also for someone that has been working out for a very long time. That's an athlete. The program has a modifier that uses a chair. And we took so long to pick the right chair, girl. We wanted to have the right one that was so funny. But she's actually lost almost 100 pounds and she's an epilepsy warrior. So she's amazing. And then we have the intensifier in the program that is, just covered in a puddle of sweat. And he's a champion fighter and former surgeon in the military, and he's killing it. And one thing that I'm also really proud of in the program is my mom is in my podcast, and she's Patrice, she is 70, she's 75. Yeah, that was and she is rocking it up in the podcast.
Oh,
and
I think, gosh, I love that.
Yeah, thank you. And so we call her and that group, it's not seniors, right? And it's not baby boomers. We are called active agers. So that's active agers. And that means wanting to make the rest of your life the best of your life. And so, yes, this is a program for them too. So it's going to be a place we focus on these foundational movements for everybody to get a good workout and feel good. And they kind of, I got like a Oprah Winfrey and Dr. Maya Angelou and Michelle Obama over my shoulder, always watching me here, but kind of becoming more like the Oprah of fitness. They let me, I wanted to make sure that we set a quote each day. And I love that you do your affirmations and all that. So there's a quote each day in the program that we set our intention on the energy that we want to bring. And they wouldn't let me do woo woo as the quote each day. So we incorporated that in a different way. But it truly is life changing. And I'm so very proud of the program and just to be here and to just be walking, it feels just in my purpose. And it just feels like an absolute dream for sure.
Couldn't have happened to a better person.
Thank you so much, Patrice.
This opportunity could not have come to a better person. We talked about purpose a bit, and I love the way that you are able to express your purpose in so many different ways. I think that when I look at some of your bio, I'm like, oh, of course, Lacee and I love each other. We're both do too muchers, but like, right. So there's like all these different things listed, but really there's multiple ways to express purpose. So
Mhm.
you're a serial entrepreneur, right? So you own your own
Yeah.
fitness program,
Yeah.
all women's gym. You do
Yeah.
group fitness classes. You have your BODi program. You're a social media influencer. You're doing for beginners only. You're like a super trainer. I just want to know, how do you balance or create harmony
Mhm.
between all of these different roles and also being a mom and a daughter and a friend? How do you do that?
You know what? That is a great question. Thank you so much. And I know you do 1,000 things too. And you know what? It's not easy. And I think that that's a mindset that, when it comes to fitness or when it comes to anything, that, my mindset is never all or nothing. All or nothing. And I love that you said, balance, but then you say harmony. And I think that that's where the magic is finding a harmony, knowing that, in a day, whatever we consider to be like a perfect day, or I'm this, or I'm that. I think as long as there's a book that I love called The Four Agreements, that I try to live my my life by too. And, I always each day try my best. I try my best just to do my best. And at the end of the day, that's all I can do. And that I have to be good with that. And when I keep my heart open to experience, and always try to remember that I am a whole soul. All of us are a whole soul. You are a whole soul. And, when I think about, always keeping in mind to be a person that follows their soul, and a person that, that does what makes my soul happy. And that doesn't mean, again, it's always easy, but man, that's gonna just propel you to your purpose, and expressing your purpose, and being able to do that throughout your life and find that harmony for sure.
Yeah. Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, friend, before I let you go, I want to ask you the Redefining Wealth rapid wisdom questions. You're going to tell us the first thing. Is Lacee's laugh not contagious? Does she not just make you want to laugh?
It's like a female Eddie Murphy. And it's also it's also genetic. So
Is
my
it?
grandma had it, yeah, my mama has it, and now I have it. So yeah.
Okay, you're going to tell us the first things that come to mind, okay?
Okay.
All right, first one. How do you define success?
Loving, at the end of the day, loving myself.
Love it. How do you define wealth in 3 words or less?
Oh my gosh. Let's see. Wealth would be, I would say, love, purpose, and a deeper soulfulness.
Oh, that's a lot of words.
Yeah, it's a lot. That was more than 3. Soulfulness. I'm fired.
Okay. Love, purpose, soulfulness.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. What's one book that has redefined how you see wealth?
The Perfection Detox by Petra Colbert.
Oh, I've never read that.
Oh, it's really good. Really
Okay.
good.
We'll
Yeah.
make sure to link to it in the show notes.
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay. And fill in the blank. My name is, and to me, the truth about wealth is.
My name is Lacee Green, and the truth about wealth is defining what is most valuable to you in your life as you follow this journey one day at a time in alignment with your soul.
Amen. Lacee Green, thank you for being here, my friend. How can people find out more about For Beginners Only and more about what you're up to in the world?
Oh, absolutely. Patrice, thank you so much. I had so much fun.
She couldn't make it out without singing. Let me tell you, she was holding that the whole time. There was no way she was going to make it out of here without singing. She can't help it.
I think I'm sweating more than I do doing burpees when I was trying to do the rapid fire. I'm like, Mayday. And so people can find me online on Instagram. That's where I do a lot of my social media handle, at the Curvy Girl Trainer. They can find out more about For Beginners Only, about just, daily motivation and health and fitness, and redefining that for themselves, and just all the love. So at the Curvy Girl Trainer.
Love it. You guys, I hope that you enjoyed this episode with my girl, Lacee Green. She is out here redefining health and fitness and what that means for all of us. Lacee, I'm so incredibly proud of you. Thank you just for reminding us that this is not about a number on the scale or the number, of a dress size or pant size or any of that stuff. Fitness is a feeling. And I know that as I'm on this journey to just continue to up my self-love, and my ability to really love others, I have to continue to feel good in my own body and feel good about my own body. And that is definitely a journey I've been on. And you really just amplified that today for us all. So you guys, if you want to follow me in social, I'm Seek Wisdom PCW on Instagram, Seek Wisdom PCW, and feel free to come on over to the all new patricewashington.com. We now have the Redefining Wealth quiz, where if you're trying to figure out which one of the 6 pillars you need to start with, maybe it's fit, maybe it's something else, take our quick 2-minute quiz and it will direct you to the right pillar. And then it'll also give you some resources and some thoughts and ideas about how to start your journey. Until next time, I want you to go live your life's purpose, find fulfillment, and earn more without ever chasing money. We'll talk to you later.